Hey everybody, Juice here, your host of all the battle reports here at the Long War, where we always keep it icy. Big special shout out and thanks to all our Long War vets. If you haven't already, stop what you're doing, go to longwar.net and become a veteran of the Long War today. This is a super special time of year. We have game 2 of our 3-part series of Inside the Mind of a 40K tournament player. Okay, this is at Hit Point Hobbies. For those of you that don't know, this is the War for Tots event, and man, is this an exciting next 25 minutes coming up. And breaking down this battle report is none other than the guys themselves, Robbie B and Kenny Boucher.
Yo, great to be here.
Yo, dog, so glad to be here, inside my own mind.
Absolutely.
A lot of yo dogs.
Yo, and this is a very great format, and I'm really excited to hear Kenny basically monologuing through his way through a 3-round tournament.
All right, I guess here it is, turn 1. You saw that Hammer and Anvil is the primary here, primary deployment type, and with a relic. Obviously, I won the role to go first, and I have definitely chosen to go first because I need to get my second powers up, and I need to get to that relic before this drop part already chokes me out.
And that was Greg that we saw right there, your opponent in the very beginning. Giving us the thumbs up, he is ready to go.
Yeah, 2 handsome gentlemen, him and Rob Bear, just chilling in the back, keeping track of this game.
Yeah, the big thing is you're right. You want to go first. You don't want to get alpha struck and lose psychic powers because Be'lakor is kind of streaky sometimes. And your first game, well, you saw that.
You saw it, yep. And obviously, I got a much better lineup of second powers. Well, you know, that's hard to say. Like you get the powers you get, and you do with them what you will in the pre-game thought process. And obviously, invisibility and shroud are my 2 go-tos with this list.
Well, it doesn't hurt that he auto comes with all of them. But yeah, on your sorcerers too, that's where that's the crucial roles right there.
You know, one thing I definitely like is the fact that you're able to take board presence where you want to be. You are where, you need to be, per se, bracing for what he has to come. And I really like, Kenny, how the cheapest unit in your army is the dogs, the corn dogs, the easiest one to kill, per se, as well. And that's the unit that you thought invisible. Talk about.
Yep, that's my normal strategies. I put invisibility on them because they are a really good unit that can tie up more units than any other unit in my army as long as they're alive.
Absolutely. So now what we've got 2 drop pods coming in, one being a dreadnought, and what does that second one have?
He's got a full tactical squad. This is actually where I'm starting to get confused. I was actually really nervous at the starting point because I really was nervous to see where that Sanguinary Guard squad he had is, and he put everything in reserves. He went straight Descent of Angels on me.
Oh, so
it's a tough alpha strike when you're not alpha striking.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It maybe could have played a little different, but we'll see. Also, is that 10-man unit, is that combat squatted?
Yeah, he combat squatted his 2 tactical squads because obviously he was trying to have as many units that could threaten the relic at once as possible. Also, it might just be his go-to to always combat squad them to have maximized objective secure units.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot of people understand a lot about how your army works and what it's doing too. So he's just probably on autopilot, like you're saying.
Yeah, that's one of the showcases of, I think, this Chaos Army. My Chaos Army is truly flexible, and here's something to talk about. I actually put my Malefiends and my Soul Grinder in reserves as usual, but not my Malefiends as usual, because this is an escalated First Blood. It's worth double points, so I could not allow him to come in with all these melta guns. And I'm sure that his first turn drop pod assault was determined by the fact that he saw no armor on the table, and he has a melta-gun heavy army.
Yeah, that would not be good for those smaller fiends, or maybe the Soul Grinder would be okay.
But yeah, it's easy to kill an armor 12 dreadnought essentially, even with a 5 blows invulnerable. So I need to give first blood because you don't know what's going to happen with drop pods.
Yeah,
and
these
stuff.
are, especially with it being escalated, you're talking this could just assume. This could win or lose you the game if you guys can test the relic at the end.
Yes, First Blood First Blood is often a game changer, and more so than ever because this is kind of their like kill point modification. This is like the kill point style mission of their tournament because they don't do straight up kill points. They're saying straight up, First Blood is worth double points. Don't lose First Blood.
Yeah,
and I don't think he was prepared to be in that First Blood race with you. The only reason why I say that is just maybe he wouldn't have combat squatted that 2 5-man units. Instead of thinking late game, that's what he's doing. Maybe think a little bit more in the beginning.
I honestly thought his Furious Dreadnought was going to do more work on those spawn because he was like, yo, what kind of armor do they have? They don't have armor. They rely on cover. He came in with the double frag cannon, double and a heavy flamer shot, and he killed one and did 2 wounds to another.
But they're
It was
high
like,
toughness.
Yeah, he was just kind of wasn't realizing that there were like 3 wounds each, toughness 6.
That's the sleeper part of it is there's no IDing out, and there's no like 3 wounds on a model is so big.
It's just it's a model you don't see a lot. So when you do see them, you're like, you don't realize how versatile they really are, just at stock face value.
One of the most flexible units in the game.
And he's got the weapons to do wounds to the spawns. If he just had 4 more Furiosos in at once, your spawn would be in trouble.
They would be in trouble. And so obviously we're going in. I'm trying to do some work in the chaos run phase, move some models, shoot some pistols at some tactical marines. But you'll notice that Be'lakor landed here in the dead center of the table, because that's one of my first moves in any relic. Is Be'lakor will always fly to the relic. I need to stop you from like landing a drop out on it.
And I do notice Be'lakor looks like he's taking a wound.
He perils that invisibility to the wounds,
That
which is
hurts.
makes me nervous because you saw what happened last time he started perils in the first game.
Wow, you're talking. That's you just caused 80 points to yourself.
Yeah, at least.
Yep. And you'll notice I charged everything into part of his one of his 5-man combat squads.
Yeah, you're gonna get that first blow.
I couldn't bank on the Space Marines going infinite on 3-up saves. I brought everything in there, enfeebled them, went hard in the paint, got first blood. And even though he probably thought he was going to take me out of position, he just saw he basically didn't because my army's so fast.
Yeah, and I mean, right now he's behind 2 victory points. Like, he has to get, slay the Warlord and a line breaker just to tie you.
Just to tie me. But he thinks that he's got all this. This is the MSU phase. He's bringing the rest of his army into Set of Angels. Look at these beautiful. First off, I want to compliment my opponent on amazing paint jobs. Look at these beautiful Sacred Air Guards.
And they're on the big bases.
He rebased them because
so much more dynamic.
And
this is a full 10-man squad.
Yeah. This is what we talk about. This is one of the most economical Death Stars in the game. He's got a Sanguinary Priest. He's got the banner. He's got some pistols. He got some Power Fists, and he's got Dante leading that unit.
I love it. That's what bringing Hobby back is, right there.
Yeah, bringing it. They're an effective unit. They're one of my favorite units in the new Blood Angels book. But he's also got a couple pocket MSU assault squads, AK3. He's bringing in assault squads top, bottom, and back center. He is literally just putting MSU units everywhere he can. He's trying to keep me back there as long as he can, because I really think that he thinks that the Secretary Guard unit is the truth. He feels really safe here with Feel No Pain, Dante is a tank, Inferno pistols, and hit and run. I think in his belief right now, that's the unit that's gonna take Relic from me while he's keeping the rest of my army occupied the backfield.
I think this could have a lot to do with Greg's local meta. There's not a lot of chaos players there. He hasn't seen the Soul Grinders. He doesn't know how resilient 13 armor, 11 armor on the rear really is with a 5-out demon save.
Yes, he also like my army is the theme of my army is flexibility, speed, and hitting you with things you don't know about. And so he, like I said, I think he's defaulted here to a game plan that he laid out already. Like I drop in, confuse, get in their backfield, make them grind through all these units while my Sanguinary Guard win the game. I think that's the plan right now.
I mean, I could see where he's coming with all that. Looks like he's trying to make that. You didn't put him in a lot of good spots with that Furioso.
No, I got invisible dogs there. He really wants to keep shooting that Furioso. He doesn't want to get bogged down by a dog unit that needs 6 to hits. He's really, like you said, I gave him a lot of decisions to make, and not a lot of them are good decisions. He wants to get away from Be'lakor. I made it so he's got really long distance charges. So I think he's just gonna see what I do. I think he's just gonna play safe here. Shoot some stuff, shoot some melted guns. He did drop the Void Shield generator on the bunker, so that doesn't exist anymore. And obviously he's gonna shoot all his Infernus pistols into the Soul Grinder and try to blow it up. And obviously he didn't blow it up.
Wow.
Did 1.
Wow.
Of 4.
Yep.
I've been in situations like that where you're like, I know this is gonna happen, and when it doesn't,
such a sinking feeling.
Yeah.
So those horrors are technically unprotected in that bunker now.
Yes, that's something that my opponent is aware of. He's like, you can shoot flamers in the bunkers, and flamers do D6 hits. And so he's like, you know what? I'm about to jack up your objective secure unit, your only objective secure unit that's close to the center.
It turns out I have some flamers in my army, is what he's thinking.
And in my opinion, he honestly should have just sacrificed the Furioso Dreadnought. Actually, it's hard. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
I'm just getting ready to say that. Half of me thought that Furioso could have potentially went to those dogs, tied him up because of how important they are to you late game. He has no idea,
Yeah,
I can't fault him for doing that.
But that's hindsight, because we both know that these Maulofiends still exist. And so, like, if you get bogged down into a combat, and he kept telling me, I was like, yo, I'm gonna hit you with these Maulofiends. He's like, dog, Furious Agenda ain't afraid of no Maulofiends. And I was like, man, I don't think you realize
they're about to Captain Crunch him.
That I'm about to GG this this Furious Agenda, you know. So I was like, all right, man, I can only do so much, you know. And so I'm doing my powers right now, getting my feebles off. I'm getting my visibility and shrouds off, because I know I'm gonna go into these guard, and he's gonna hit and run, and I want to have cover up for my spawn afterwards. And here's something that nobody ever sees coming: life leech, because I rolled a lot of biomancies against. I always roll biomancy versus hand-to-hand combat armies, and here it is, a life leech wound. Let's see if he gets his fatal pain off. And he's like, oh my god, it's AP2. I hate this. Who's closest? Oh, please don't tell me it's a power fist. It wasn't a power fist. You know, and of course he fails it, kill a dude, and now I take a wound back on.
So clutch. Exactly what we talk about, psychic abilities. You know, the Swiss Army knife. Put yourself into plays. Like, I've even had that in other people, years ago, and wouldn't even have thought to use it in that manner. Great job, Kenny.
I've only pulled that off like once, and it was on a Nurgle Demon Prince. So it's kind of like, man.
I use it to heal my spawn all the time. Like,
that's super clutch.
And since they're multi-wound units, and it's one of my favorite things. So here it is. This is when it happens. He predicted it. He's gonna overwatch with his frag cannon, wall of flames into one of my dreadnought.
Because it does D6.
It's literally rending. He rolled double sixes.
What?
And I'm like, wait a minute. And obviously I fail both demon saves. He goes to roll in the results, and he bangs out another 6. Immobilizes one of the Maulofiends, and this other Maulofiend who's committed is like, wait, I thought it was a GG, and it's like, nah, turns out I'm initiative 4, you're initiative 3.
Oh, that Maulofiend's like, grab my hand,
my strong hand.
I'll pull you.
So obviously he's feeling high about that. He's like, where do you want to start? I was like, I want to come back to that later. And so obviously we're doing what I do here with this is what my flesh hounds are for, my list. I use them to tie up as many units as possible while invisible, so that you can't bring objective secure units to bear. So I'm stopping 10 objective secure models from moving toward that relic by sacrificing my Fierce Charge and my charging bonuses into those two.
That's okay, because they got their resiliency.
Yeah, because they have 2 wounds each and they're invisible right now, So this is kind of, I think, where the plan's going to start going sideways on him, where he's like, yo, these secondary guard, they're going to win the game for me. I'm going to tie up all your units. He didn't realize that, Spawn plus Bellicor plus Soul Grinder does a lot of work.
Yeah, he does. Shoot, Bellicor's Fleshbane just by himself.
Yeah, he's got 6 attacks, initiative 8. That's what pisses people off. It's like, wait, initiative 8? Are you kidding me right now? And he also, here's an ancient Chinese trick right here. I'm dragging that sorcerer back so far that he wasn't able to get in there to challenge range.
It's that sorcerer. Is that your warlord?
That's my warlord. So I started him way in the back, so that exactly 18 inches away for life leech, just so I know I wouldn't be able to get into a challenge situation where I would lose warlord to Dante.
Wow, what a great veteran move right there. Like, again, I don't even think people could see that coming. As not as an opponent, but using that in their game.
No doubt. He is having a slight feel bad right now, my boy Greg, because his favorite unit in the game is taking a lot of casualties. I do bring in, and I'm not even done rolling yet. Look at all the spawn attacks. That's all spawn. That's 5 models attacking right there. So obviously I do some more damage. He hit and runs out. He's feeling safe. He's regrouping. I charge 20 cultists into his backfield, thinking I can beat 5 assault marines. So far they're holding.
Hey, where did that other
where'd the
Maulofiend go?
Turns out that the most furious of all time actually made the right decision by not engaging those dogs, because
You're telling me,
wow.
You're telling me that Furioso immobilized and stopped, and basically killed for the rest of the game one, then got charged by the other one and pwned that one.
Yes. So basically, I lost 2 fast-moving units this turn, and he lost 1 assault squad in the bottom quadrant to those spawn that charged in. So I lost the better of that. Like he shut down two of my fast-moving units that are MSU, and I have to shut down one of his.
And now he's making a beeline for your squishy spam in a can.
Yep. He's like, hey, you know what? Like, here's the best use of my flavor for a turn. I'm gonna do 3 D6 wound on 2 flamer results to the inside of your people in your bunker, and obviously he's taking my warp charge points away with this maneuver. So he's like, this is the best I can do right now. He doesn't know. Like, that Furious Agenda just kind of does its own thing, and it kind of always just
Works out.
Yeah, Furiosa does what Furiosa does.
Yeah, and he's obviously, after the success of that last frag cannon, taken down. I've got some wounds in those spawn units. I got 2 spawn on their last wound in there. So he's really just trying to lay into that unit and do damage. But this is where the toughness 6 of that unit paid off, and he wasn't able to convert on those 4s in those 5s. And he's bringing look at how much melted guns he has now. He's got furnace pistols to the rear, and he's got 2 melted guns to the front. Those assault marines moved up on that soul grinder, and he's feeling pretty good with these 4 melted gun shots. And as you can see, I've only taken 1 whole point.
You know, I can definitely tell that you said that he made the comment earlier that before the game started that his army kills vehicles. He's really, for some reason, seen the Soul Grinder as a major threat, and he keeps dumping units into it. So again, that's as Robbie B maybe alluded to, you know, the meta that he was in. You kind of got to go for it when maybe in this game you didn't have to.
I mean,
I think he got hyper focused on the Soul Grinder. You know,
I would have personally, obviously, done a lot of different things, but I think the better play was probably the Mauler Fiends, but he couldn't get to them because he doesn't have that. You know,
yeah, it's like we're talking about.
Descent.
He had a game plan, and I did everything I could to mitigate his game plan.
Yep.
And so I left my stuff in reserves. And he's bringing in Furious Charge Power Fists now. He's bringing in Dante Strength 7 attacks. He's trying to just see if he can't bang out those last 3 whole points in the Soul Grinder. Like we talk about, Armor 13, Demon Saves. Like the Soul Grinder is the closest thing to a good Dreadnought in the game. As far as resiliency, he's only 100. Slash Soul Grinder is only 150 points, 4 whole points. You know, Armor 13, 11 on the rear, and has a Demon Save. So he didn't convert on it again.
He's being smart about it. He's going at your rear. He's got a strategy. It's just not quite the odds he was looking for.
And he is playing like a True Blood Angel. He's afraid of no combat, so he is coming in hot. But you know, obviously he's about to get just worked. Those poor Sanguinary Guard, or you know, the stars of his army. I'm about to psychically enhance my army right now. This is the part that everyone hates. I'm using my 2 invisibilities, lobbing all my powers into them, keeping those dogs holding strong against those objectives, because they can't really hurt them when they don't get the charge bonuses, so they're just sitting there, you know. But you can't hurt them. Yeah,
and that's exactly what they're there for. I really love the fact that those dogs are right there.
And also, you saw that other veteran tech, the Warlord detached from my spawn, lobbed an invisibility over to that Soul Grinder, and I'm getting Line Breaker, and I know there's no way to stop the challenge mechanic from going off, so I'm denying him Warlord while simultaneously scoring Line Breaker.
And he has no further threats to land back there and go after him.
Correct.
So what a great way to counteract a negative that your book makes you do by automatically challenging, aka giving up first blood, because Dante will punk him.
Yeah.
Way to take that mechanic out of the game and use it to your advantage to just move him away.
I feel like it's just called like common sense, but you know.
Well, it's hard because the challenge mechanic for chaos is not a tactic; it's a detriment. So you have to find out ways to work around it, and by not putting points into my HQs outside of psychic abilities. And obviously, I just scored Dante right there.
He's really behind now.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, it's just like I said, it's just one of those things. Like I don't take like Chaos Lords in my competitive list. I take psychic guys who don't need to be touching units to augment them. So
we've talked about that a lot. Like Chaos isn't what the Chaos of old was. You know, now it's Chaos Sorcerer. You know, Spider. A crawler and a cultist. That's kind of the current chaos, which is fine. It's just different.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's just different, like you were saying. So obviously he's making a play. He's like, I got to bring every unit toward that relic right now because he has no objective security units left in his army. So he would never be able to take it from me. He charged his Furiosa into Bellicor. Bellicor obviously doesn't care about Furiosa Dreadnoughts in close combat.
Nope.
But Bellicor standing still with 5 attacks with Armor Bane, Flesh Bane, you know.
Strength, well, so he's strength 6 standing still.
No, strength 7. He has the +1 strength on his sword.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So no, he doesn't care.
The Slayer of Kings.
So I do feel pretty good. You know, obviously turn 4 is kind of the absolute pendulum swing, in my opinion, to this game.
So now it's time to make plays.
Now it's about to make the final push of the game. Put all my units where they're going to live for the rest of the game. Kill everything, and he's
starting to see it.
Yep, he's starting to see it. And obviously, standard buffs. We're throwing invisibility back on the dogs. We're throwing up shroud bubbles. We're throwing psychic screams out. We're doing everything we can, just attacking the units that he has in the center. And you can see all my hand gestures. I'm explaining to him my end game, so he knows exactly my final plans. obviously trying to be as social as possible because I do am trying to be as good a sportsman as I can here as the game is running away in my favor, Soul Grinder, Slender Soul Grinder, obviously just charging in, not caring about 3 Tactical Marines.
Nope.
He did finally send that Dreadnought into that combat with those dogs though.
Look at those reds, it's so striking. He did a really good job on his army.
Yo, his army came out so fresh. Like I really was honored to play against somebody who really cared about their Blood Angel army on this level with the subtle highlights and the crisp lines,
Man, I painted all that by hand.
Yep.
Incredible.
And this is actually, so obviously it was important for that Soul Grinder to get involved with those Tactical Marines because they broke out of that combat with the dogs. And that was actually made me nervous because they have Nation No Fear. If they broke and that Soul Grinder was dead, he actually could have made a play because he ended the game to take the relic away from me.
Oh, look, they're on their side. Oh.
The murder shuffle.
The dead Blood Angels in the background.
Yeah. So obviously, Greg, hat off to my boy Greg, playing the last turn. He says that he has a play. He has all these death launchers. It's like, if I can bust a hole in there and run and get one guy within 3 inches, maybe make a charge, maybe the game goes on to turn 6. He's like, obviously if I roll a lot of 6s and you roll a lot of 1s, I can still win.
Absolutely, man. Like what a great gutsy. Maybe up until now, again, hindsight's 20/20. His play didn't necessarily. He wasn't prepared for a game plan. But let me tell you what he was prepared to play it down to the end.
There it is.
So
life.
This is something that we spoke about at the end of the show, at the end of our webcast tonight, because we're actually going back to back to back because we're that committed. We had a chance to go deep into the aspect of knowing the Beats Laboratory and what that actually means on the tabletop. I think Greg kind of fell into a little bit of eye-opening experience on what that Beats Laboratory time actually kind of means. And it kind of showed.
Yeah, it's the class. It's what we were talking about. It's the pregame, 40K pregame. More than half of the game was spent in your Beats Laboratory. And I think that his army absolutely presented challenges to my army that he could have actually beaten me with. It's just that he didn't spend enough time thinking of what he would do in the situations that were not advantageous to him. He was really caught up in his combo.
Yep.
His combo is I present you with no targets on turn 1, then I drop in anywhere I need to, distract you with my drop pods and my Standard Grenadier Guard win the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Kenny. If he would have kept that his star unit together and have those dreadnoughts, his armor, his guys with a better initiative going against your armor once you guys charge in and kind of keep as one cohesive unit and kind of match you one-on-one. I think some people don't realize, and even as I play they don't realize you don't bring guns to the fight.
Yep, and it actually, now that you're saying that, here's what I would have done if I was him. I would have deployed both dreadnoughts. I would have deployed the Death Star, and I would have deployed all my assault marines.
Absolutely.
I would have taken those combat squads and divided them up against all the drop pods he had, because he had two drop pods that were fast attack, I think, or actually I guess they were dedicated transports to the dreadnought. So I probably couldn't quite do that. So fine, drop 2 empty drop pods. Drop your tactical marines and don't divide them up. And I think that the fact that I don't have guns and that you're literally only 12 inches away from the relic at the beginning of the game.
Absolutely.
Like there's no reason. Just jump you just have your Death Star hide behind those buildings and say, I'm going to charge you in the last turn of the game. And my dreadnoughts are going to get in a position to augment that. Like, obviously, he absolutely had the tools and the flexibility. His army is flexible. His army does have the tools. He just didn't think about those tools because he didn't spend. He's at listen to the podcast. We talk about it. Greg is probably at like level 35 right now, getting ready to make that last play to level 40. And I hope he watches this battle report and sees that, damn, I did have the tools to win this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I didn't get overpowered.
And you want to know what? And he's playing for the hobby. And I know this isn't part of it, and we're going a little further here. But how about a hobby pipe dream for every Blood Angel player out there that runs Dreadnoughts and Sanguinary Guard to play games of 40K where they don't get shot at?
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't happen very often.
And I mean, obviously, he did really well in his first game too. That's he was a winner going into round 2, so it's not like he's not winning games.
Absolutely,
he's a competent opponent with an army that brings hobby back in his way. He's got the tools. He's got the flexibility, and I hope now that people can see that while we do these battle reports, it's actually to bring hobby back for everyone. It's not to find the answer to a simple math problem like 1 + 1. It's to find X. And I think we did that here today.
Yep. And last bit, Greg is going to go from his current stage at level 35 to 60s, 70s, and 80s before we can even blink, because obviously he's still a good player.
Absolutely. Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos,